Hello and present, welcome to LNTV News Live, bringing you major developments happening here in Liberia and parts around the world. I'm Edward Tamba anchoring this edition of this news program. And the big stories we're following: the government of Liberia targets a production of 40,000 metric tons of rice this 2019. Vice President Weah Taylor says there is a drastic decline in women participation in governance, urges young women to step up. President Manneh Weah, along with scores of other government officials and Liberians, paid their last respect to fallen statesman Gabriel Wilson, Allies Executive Horn. And away from Liberia, Ethiopian Airlines says searchers have recovered both flight recorders from the plane that crashed Sunday, killing 157 persons on board. These developments are all packaged. After this break, we'll be right back. Stay with us. President Manneh Weah, along with scores of other Liberians and friends, today paid their last respect to the fallen statesman Gabriel Wilson, Executive Horn, as he was affectionately called, died on February 10, 2019 and was laid to rest today. My colleague Julius Compton attended that ceremony. I'm back in studio for us in this report.
A pure national recognition of the late Gabriel Wilson, popularly known as Executive Horn, at a well-attended funeral service graced by President Dr. Weah and scores of family members, including Liberians, was characterized by pain, tears, and sober reflection. Delivering the funeral discourse was Reverend M. Swen Jawi.
As we pay our respect, let us remember our dead human being here when we fight the fights. When we finish our race, when we do the thing, then it was easy to say, and that is the end.
The well-attended funeral service saw scores of Liberians paying their tribute in respect of their late kinsman and workmate.
Mr. Wilson, we are told, started his journey in the 60s when President Tubman saw him in Kipamus. His whole life has been of service to the executive. This is a difficult moment for the President and the First Lady and the entire staff of Ministry of State.
The knowledge of putting this together to identify them to show that rather long our work together and we're happy to put ourselves in ascension. On behalf of the Kampala people here in Monrovia and out of Monrovia, we want to deposit this week on the Catholic burial and mortal remains of the late may the souls of all people be married in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy.
Gabriel Wilson, Allies Executive Horn, was known for this particular job. Gabriel Wilson, Allies Executive Horn, died on February 10, 2019 in a tragic motor accident at the age of 69. I am Julius Compton reporting for LNTV News.
Well, a rather sad note, but many thanks to Julius Compton for that report, as Executive Horn was finally laid to rest today in Monrovia, where the government of Liberia is projecting the production of about 40,000 metric tons of rice this 2019. According to Agriculture Minister Dr. Morgana Flomo, the ministry is looking forward to targeting crops such as rice, cassava, and vegetables.
So these are our priority crops. But this year, we want to prioritize rice, cassava, and vegetables. Someone will say, but why are you looking at rice, cassava, and vegetables? We have to look at feeding the country. Some of the issues I just listened to you talking with the deputy minister. But finally, have to do with the amount of money we send out of the country after food. For example, just rice alone, we spend more than $200 million. So in essence, we're saying that we are making farm. Sorry, we are supporting those who are making farm in other countries. We are supporting farmers in India, in China, in Vietnam, in all those countries where we take rice from to bring to Liberia. So we're saying, look, we have to now begin to grow rice domestically and be able to see how we can gradually reduce the importation of rice. So this year we have a target to produce 40,000 metric tons of rice locally. Then we are going to also do similar thing in giving assistance to vegetable farmers because the rice has to grow with vegetables. And then we are also going to invest in the poultry and other areas.
Meanwhile, Dr. Flomo said the Israeli aid arm has agreed to train Liberians and introduce them to the new technology in agriculture.
In fact, the Mashaf group, which is the Israel aid arm, also offer a lot of training opportunities in agriculture for Liberians to go to Israel and work at these different areas, get trained, see different technologies, and get these technologies and bring them back to Liberia so that they can be transferred to other farmers. So it's true they will be coming, but they also want more Liberians to go there and get trained and see what is on the ground and be able to transfer that when they come back home. So we are right now beginning to do the recruitment of the kind of people that are here to go. We have that in two phases. There's a first group that will go for 2 weeks. There's another group that will go for 11 months. So yes, and the 2 weeks is for short training to come back. The other group that will go for 11 months, they are going to get trained and then they will be empowered to come back and begin similar things. You know, for example, you are assigned on a vegetable farm. What that farmer is doing, the kind of training they will put into you, they're going to give you some seed fund, something like a seed fund, that upon your return, you come and begin similar things in Liberia.
Now, smiles and jubilation were the order of the day for residents of Monserrado County and beyond when President George Manneh, Weah and entourage towards several ongoing development projects in their respective communities. The projects, some of which are in their advanced stages, while others are nearing completion, are part of the promises made to the people by the Liberian leader. Julius Compton was on that tour as well, and back in studio he files this report.
In a joyous mood, some Liberians danced and sang in appreciation of bringing relief to them as a result of ongoing development projects in their community. They were so impressed when President Dr. George Weah and entourage toured ongoing development projects in Monserrado County and parts adjacent. The ongoing development works across Monserrado County are in fulfillment of promise made by President Dr. George Weah to the people of Liberia. Mambutu Vla Nyimpan is Public Works Minister.
What we've done today is a further manifestation of making true the commitment of His Excellency Mr. President to the people of this country that infrastructure development is going to be the fulcrum of his administration.
In the midst of some economic challenges facing the country, the CDC-led government is implementing several development projects across Liberia. Here now is Nathaniel Mangil, Minister of State for Presidential Affairs.
Everything you are seeing, the taxpayer money, this government has never benefited from any donor projects. And the President said all the projects you see ongoing are fully supported by the national budget.
One of the projects, which is the Bali Island, is under the auspices of the Indian government. New Indian ambassador to Liberia gives his impression about development works at the Bali Island.
Bali Island is a dream project for President And since being a major stakeholders for the Bali project, Government of India also have the same dream to see that Bali Island come if for all of us. But yes, we are working towards that. And as an ambassador of India in Liberia, my utmost effort will be there to see that dreams come true for both India and Liberia, because that is going to stand.
The 14 military hospital project, the Loggington Road and Bali Island were amongst few development projects that President George Weah toured along with his entourage in testimony of his promise to the people, as it encouraged the contractors to work hard and put the interests of the country first in order to move development across Liberia in a timely manner. Reporting for LNTV News, I am Julius Compton.
Of course, many thanks to you there, Julius, for that report. Now, Vice President Joel Howard Taylor says there is a drastic decline in women participation in governance. The Vice President made a disclosure when she served as a guest speaker at the two-day capacity regional training workshop organized by the National Youth Movement for a Transparent Election, NYMOD.
And I feel sad because when I look at the political space of our nation, there is a drastic decline in the number of female participants at high decision-making positions. And that means if you have a company or you have a ministry, there are some women who are second, but they are not in the driver's seat. Most of those in the driver's seat are men. And so they will say, oh, we have many women. Yes, they are at different levels. But when it comes to representation and sitting at that table, the final person with the final voice is actually a man. I feel sad, even though we began in 2006 with many women, today that number is shrinking. I know you've heard of the death of Senator Geraldine Joe Sheriff, one of our giants, was falling. That leaves the Liberian Senate of 30 members with one woman. So you can imagine the situation you're facing. Even though I have a feeling of sadness, I also have one of gratitude to the many stakeholders, UN Women, the Canadian government, NYMOD, and other organizations who continue to fan this fire. They have, instead of complaining about why the glass is half empty, are involved in ensuring that the next generation of female leaders are given the tools they need to fully participate at all levels.
Meanwhile, NYMOD Program Director Weah provided an overview of the capacity building workshop for young women in political leadership.
Today marks a very historical event in Liberia. All the period of time in Liberia, we've witnessed limited women participation. All the period of time, despite the fact that we have increased women participation in political processes, but yet we do not reap the dividends. And so, with this background, in partnership with UN Women Liberia, NYMOD initiated this project called Young Women Mentorship, Leadership, and Empowerment Program. Why are we doing this? Through this initiative, NYMOD seeks to build a cadre of interested, diverse, and capable women leaders who will readily engage Liberia's political space by generating women-sensitive reforms as well as contesting and winning political seats.
If you're just coming our way, you're watching LNTV News Live, coming to you from Pinsville, outside of the nation's capital, Monrovia. My name is Edward Tamba, anchoring tonight's edition of this program and the big stories we're following. The government of Liberia targets a production of 40,000 metric tons of rice by 2019 this year. Of course, Vice President Weah says there is a drastic decline or reduction in women participation in political leadership, urges young women to tighten up their belts. President George Manneh, along with scores of other government officials and Liberians, pay their last respect to the fallen statesman Gabriel Wilson, Allies executive horn. And away from Liberia, the Ethiopian Airlines says searchers have recovered both flight recorders from the plane that crashed Sunday, killing 157 on board. We take a very short break to bring in our sports news with Koloba Zeze. Stay with us, don't go away.
Pleasant good evening and welcome to the sports, where we start with news from the football arena, because there were interesting football matches in the LFA second division at the weekend. Matibaro and the champions Beer Mountain were all in action, but they could not pick up victories in their respective fixture, managing a draw or draws. However, Matibaro traveled to Northern Liberia, where they took on Nimakwado and had to force the Sanikwale Bay second division boys to a 1-1 draw. At the King George Stadium in Grand Kitman County, it was similar result between the champions in the second division Beer Mountain and former champions BYC2, both settled to a 1-1 draw as well. In Grand Kitman County, Invincible 11 RE for her part fell prey to the weekend's action, falling 1-0 to junior professionals, and that was defeat number 3 for Sunshine Yellow Boys. Moscow were strong past Ghanasville FC managed a 3-2 win over Fripo FC, and Moscow was strong over Pax FC, winning Pax 5-3. And in kickball, there were wins for YSSCA Royal Sisters and CYE at the weekend as the tournament or championship continued. CYE had a 6-0 victory over Fit Sisters in a one-sided match at the Blackton Field in the Mount Barkley area, while Royal Sisters defeated Amazon 2-0 home runs, and YSSCA were fought a 1-0 victory over Vision Sisters. The Basketball Federation says its 2019 league season will formally kick off this weekend. A statement from the basketball hall said it has to push its league opening to another weekend because stakeholders had appealed for an extension into registration. The Basketball Federation is yet, however, to release their fixture. And away from Liberia, Real Madrid has reappointed their manager or former midfielder, Zidane, who gave them 3 Champions League titles. Zidane was named manager today after the Real Madrid authorities sacked Solari, and Zidane will be in charge at the Bernabeu until 2022. Does he have the magic to return Madrid to its former status? Let's watch and see. That's it for the sports.
Well, thank you to Koloba Zeze for bringing us our sport news here, and of course, congratulations to all the fans of Real Madrid for that appointment of your former manager. Well, Magibi County District Number 4 Representative Ben Fofana has pledged to seek the welfare of his people for the betterment of the county. According to him, as Parliament under the 2019 Ambitions Plan, he will work to ensure that he brings relief to the people by providing the necessary service delivery to them.
We are working to ensure that the welfare of our people stand out at all times. And we are making sure the standard we are set in this district number 4, remain and sustain. We therefore ask our citizens to join us in achieving this ambitious plan. Roadmap for the coming year. In other words, what we intend to do this year to clean up in order to bring speed to evolving realities and the introduction of the seeking to make it technical school. I repeat it. You might say, maybe, why we talk about Liberia Day? Liberia Day was passed by the House, it went to the Senate, it remained the Senate today. But our rules say that if you have an iPad like you, for example, the House, the lower House, and you go to the Senate, you can pass on it, that session is over, that session is over, you have to reintroduce it.
At the same time, Representative Ava Jones of District Number 1 assured his people that the new breed of leaders of the county will be at all times accountable to the people who elected them.
In order for us to be transparent, for us to be accountable, it means that there must be a report provided. If there isn't a report provided, what is the yardstick that one can use to judge us about our accountability and transparency? So we want to say with a new breed of leaders, now in Manneh County, coupled with our police from the Senate, we want to assure the people of Manneh County.
Meanwhile, House Speaker Buffer Chambers encouraged Liberians to think positive about their country and join hands together to help develop Liberia.
All of you and all of us work together so that Hakata, so that Magidi, by extension Liberia, become a united society, or just society, or stable society, or peaceful society, or prosperous society, or just society, so that all of our rights and our responsibilities can be properly balanced. I want to say to the Honorable Member family that we are able to form part of this occasion. We want to say that you have our blessing. We will cooperate with you and the people of Manneh County. To end, I would say that this government, as it has initiated the pro-poor agenda, it is something that is non-partisan.
Former Vice President Joseph Nyuma Boakai has called for a national survey of disadvantaged youths in Liberia. Ambassador Boakai said this would enable government to have a proper record of disadvantaged youth, commonly called Zokos, in the country. He spoke Monday when he served as a guest speaker at the 2nd anniversary celebration and Thanksgiving program of the Kimberlin Youth for Jesus Christ Foundation held at the Winners Chapels International Ministries in Congo Town.
The issues with which your heart is woven are so precious that it is enough to give this wretched word of ours makeover, especially if we have just a few more people like this. As you know, in the meantime, that there are indeed a good number of kind-hearted and compassionate people out there who do not have the mind, or who do have the mind to do similar good work, but are short of means and sometimes even short of ideas. But the famed professional singer, songwriter, and adventurer, Johnny good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that can do.
Well, the second anniversary of the Kimberley Youth Foundation for Jesus Christ on Monday brought together several disadvantaged youths commonly called Zogos from different ghettos in the country with a call for government to invest in the young people of Liberia. KYFJCF, since its establishment in 2017, has been involved with providing psycho-social counseling and rehabilitation to disadvantaged youth across Liberia. Madam Israel Evangeline King is the president of the Kimberley Youth for Jesus Christ Foundation.
The Kimberley Youth for Jesus Christ Foundation is a non-for-profit organization which focuses on the empowering the youth through capacity building, leadership, and good governance. It's a wake-up call of devoted youth in society to fully unarrested to make the dream idea a reality more than ever. The rest of Africa needs young citizens to stand up and showcase the inheritance, creativity, ideas.
Also speaking at the program, Youth and Sports Minister Zoga Wilson acknowledged the government's responsibility to ensure that disadvantaged youths are prioritized.
Our President, Dr. George Manneh, Weah, is very well focused and concerned about your well-being and well-being of all youth in this country. And I come to say that today, no youth in this country must be left behind because of your condition or where you find yourself today. I repeat, no youth must be left behind because of the condition they find themselves in today.
The president of the Monrovia Breweries Incorporated, Dr. Nelson Oniyama, has called for Liberians and other Africans to support the University of Liberia. Dr. Oniyama made the comments Monday when he unveiled the logo at the UL Centennial Commencement Celebration in Monrovia.
The highest institution of learning and most outstanding institution of learning in this country has produced numerous outstanding alumni over the centuries. I admonish all alumni to support the University of Liberia in whatever way possible and ensure that we meet up with the theme of the centenary, memory preservation and the way forward.
For our part, launching the Centennial Commencement Celebration, your President, Dr. Ophelia Weiss, called for concerted efforts to improving the University of Liberia.
The University of Liberia was established, as we've all heard, by an act of the Liberian legislature on February 15, 1951. And since then has been very successful in manpower development of the country, including graduating the largest graduating class in the history of the University of Liberia during the 2017 convocation year.
Now, away from Liberia, Ethiopian Airlines says searchers have found or recovered both flight recorders from the plane that crashed Sunday, killing all 157 people on board. Ethiopia is observing a day of mourning for those who died when the Boeing 737 MAX 8 jet headed for Kenya's capital Nairobi went down just 6 minutes after takeoff from Addis Ababa. Now have a report for you.
Flight delayed, read the bland announcement at Nairobi's International Airport. However, the delay was anything but bland, as news of the worst possible kind reached frantic family members. All 149 passengers and 8 crew members on board Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 had died. A grim-faced Ethiopian Airlines CEO, Tewolde Gebre-Mariam, faced the public.
We are very, very saddened. Our heart is broken.
The jet was a new Boeing 737 MAX 8, delivered to the airline last year. It's the same type of plane operated by Indonesia's Lion Air that crashed shortly after takeoff last October, killing all 189 on board. Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 lost contact just 6 minutes after takeoff from the capital Addis Ababa when it went down en route to Nairobi. According to the flight tracking service, Flight Radar 24, the plane had unstable vertical speed during its ascent. Investigators rushed to the crash site, about 30 miles from the Ethiopian capital. It's unclear what caused this plane to crash, but the pilot was clearly in distress.
The pilot mentioned that he had difficulty and he wants to return.
But then they lost all contact with the plane.
Thank you to CBS News for feeding us with that report. That brings us to the end of tonight's presentation of LNTV News Live. Before we let go of you, the reminder of the big stories we told you. The government of Liberia targets the production of 40,000 metric tons of rice by this 2019. Vice President Weah Taylor says there is a drastic decline in women participation in governance, urges young women to step up. President George Manneh, along with scores of other government officials and Liberians, pay their last respect to a fallen statesman, Gabriel Wilson, alias Executive Horn. And away from Liberia, Ethiopian Airlines says searchers have recovered both flight recorders from the plane that crashed Sunday, killing all 157 people on board. Many thanks to all of you for watching LNTV News Live. Many thanks to all of our contributors, reporters, editors for making this edition a success. On behalf of the entire production team here at the Liberia National Television, my name is Edward Tama. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
As a means of bringing the news closer